Hey, back with another Venus placement, and this time, you lucky people, I'm back with Venus and Gemini. Venus and Gemini, wow. I'll tell you off top, Venus and Gemini could be very finicky and choosy lovers, or with the people that they choose to love. And sometimes it could be even show up as they don't really know who to pick, what choice to make. I don't know what choice to make. Can I have both of you? And the thing about it is that ultimately Venus and Gemini are looking for that person, that right fit, like a person that understands them, understands that they may show up kind of finicky, understands that they like variety, sometimes they like to switch things up a little bit, and most importantly, that they need their time alone. They need their space from their partner. And when I say space from their partner, it does not mean that they don't want to be with you, they don't want to be in the same house with you. Maybe some of them don't, but no, for the most part, what I'm talking about is that they just need their space, like they need their space in the household to just maybe have like their little man cave or she shed. I've been hearing a lot about she sheds, and I'm going to start adding it into videos that I do, because I'm all about equal opportunity. And it's because they have a lot of things that they want to work on. They love writing maybe, or they love certain hobbies that they're in, maybe reading, exploring, looking into other information, even sometimes social media. Now, why am I even bringing this up? Because in the other Venus placements I didn't really bring this up. Well, that's because mostly I did earth sign placements. It's a little bit different, but the reason why I bring this particular aspect up is because that's what you get when you get Gemini energy. Okay, point blank, period. And these individuals with this placement, they can, in love, they like conversation, they like to get to know their partner, and they want to talk things out. So they may tell you how they feel, and they may tell you how they feel in a rather harsh way. Okay, sometimes some of them let it build up depending on where their Mercury placement is at, or what their sun sign is. They can let it build up a little bit, but for the most part, they'll end up either exploding, letting it seep out, and sometimes it can be a little bit harsh for the more sensitive souls. And don't get me wrong, they can be sensitive as well. But in love, they want somebody that's communicative, that's open, understanding, that's creative. Because I wanted to say their own unique style and trend, but no, that's more of creative, intelligent. They don't see the world in a limited way. Okay, and you gotta understand, they do not like to be controlled. So they're not interested in partners that's going to control them. You start getting to know them, and you start showing signs of trying to control them, and especially when it comes to what they love to do, you might have a problem. Even if you see and you're like, okay, really, that's not going to benefit you in no way, shape, or form, you better come up with a brilliant, intelligent, creative, communicative way to explain that to them. And it usually would be, where you communicate with them in a fashion to where you're not trying to get them, like, order them around, but it's just more along the lines like just having a conversation and just telling them how you feel. And at first, if they're reluctant to listen, don't worry. After they go and they sit back for a minute and they look into things deeper, then they'll understand. They could come off as kind of flighty in love, like, 1 minute it's like they seem like they're coming on strong, and then the next minute it's like they could care less, or they're lacking in their expression, which is not so much, because that's really the expression of it is Mars and Gemini too, be the Mars sign, but it can show up in the Venus placement as well. And remember what I was telling you when we first started the video, to where the reason why they could come off like that is because they're kind of finicky. They could go back and forth. Sometimes they want their distance and things of that nature. It's not that they're not emotionally in tuned. It's just that for them, it don't really gotta be that deep. It don't really gotta be that deep at all. Not especially not when they're first getting to know you. So just jumping into straightforward, deep, intense, emotional expressions could be a little bit to them, because they feel like, man, I don't get why you're taking it this serious. If you're taking it this serious right now to the point of where you seem almost as if you're gonna cry because you hadn't talked to me in a week, I don't know what I'm gonna do about this. Now, men with displacement, it's really the same, because you got to understand the reason why it's the same, because you got versatile energy here, the feminine and the masculine. So you can see a lot of traits in the females with displacement, just like you see the same traits with the males with displacement. The males, they could be into intelligent women, like women. When I say flighty, I don't mean stupid or airhead. That's not what I mean. Flighty means, they got a lot of different ideas, thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't have to just stick to one thing. They could also be interested into like bisexual women as well. They could be. This is not for all of them, but they could. Or even into being bisexual themselves. Not to 100. Don't say little aspects, okay, and make it for everybody, because really every placement anywhere in the chart can have this tendency. It'll just, people with like the air sign placements and the fire sign placements are more applicable to act on theirs, if that's the case. And if not, if it seems like sometimes they're coming off a little feminine or whatever, it's not that they're bisexual or anything. It's because they're in tune with both energies, So sometimes they'll come forward. Sometimes they'll be like, okay, I'm just cooling. I'm just chilling, But for the most part, they're like intelligent women, witty women. You know what I'm saying? That can, go toe to toe with them in knowledge, information, what they how they communicate. They say something, you say something slick a little bit back to them in a witty way. Oh, is that a new shirt? I didn't never notice that shirt. I love that shirt on you. But I'm sure there's a better color that could possibly fit you. And not just that, but something that they could play with a little bit. Like, oh man, what does she mean by that? They don't really want you to be like, they don't want to know all of you up front, but they do want you to be able to keep some type of conversation going. Like, hey, even if they ask you about you, because they're going to be really curious about you, it doesn't mean that you have to reveal every aspect of your life. They're asking you because they're very curious. Sometimes make them think, say stuff to make them think about you after everything's said and done, after you go home, until you can get them. And like I stated in some of my other videos, it's not like you can use this information and trick somebody, because be for real, like how many people that are just not really in that state of mind to just be communicating and into different information and knowledge, you really can't fake that, but it's more about understanding the individual that you're dealing with, so you're not saying, oh yeah, you're crazy, you're deranged. You can understand how the energy plays out, and for them, it's they want a more, like, the woman that they're interested in, they could be beautiful and all that, they could be beautiful and all that. And I say that there's aspects of the woman that's sexy, like physically and their mind too, don't get me wrong. But what really gets them going about the woman that they're interested in is the state of mind that she has. Is she family oriented? Or will she allow him to be involved with his family and things he has going on without trying to stop him or distract him? Like, he's looking for understanding. Okay? So, I'm going to stop there. This has been Venus and Gemini. I'm Butterfly to Light. Subscribe, like, and hit the notifications, because I will be back with more